Welcome back. Today we'll talk about another decade of life, a Roman emperor and his successor, a singer, songwriter, guitarist, filmmaker, a song, and a quote. So grab your favorite cuppa, sit back, and let's check it out. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for February 25th. February 25th is the 56th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, with 309 days remaining to the end of the year, or 310 if it happens to be a leap year. Yesterday we talked about the word quinquagenarian, so thought it might be fun to talk about some other genarian words, and today it's quadragenarian. Quadragenarian refers to a person in their 40s, or as an adjective, it relates to someone in their 40s. An example sentence might be, as a quadragenarian, he found himself reflecting on the milestones of his life. Or, the quadragenarian artist debuted a bold new style that surprised critics. Or, many quadragenarians focus on career advancement while trying to balance family life. The word quadragenarian comes to us from a Latin word that means containing 40, 40th, or 40 each, plus the suffix that denotes a person belonging to an age group. So, a person belonging to the age group containing 40. First known use of the word quadragenarian in English is in the early 1800s. Quadragenarian. And with that, Roman Emperor Hadrian began his rule in the year 117, and in the relatively short span of about 20 years, he made extensive contributions to architecture, cultural patronage, and administrative reforms. Easily known for Hadrian's Wall across England, Hadrian is also responsible for reconstruction of the Pantheon in Rome, construction of Hadrian's Villa, also known as Villa Adriana, near Tivoli, Italy. He commissioned the Temple of Venus in Roma. Hadrian admired Greek culture and invested in the development of Athens, commissioning public buildings, a new library, an aqueduct, and some other projects. Hadrian was also the driving force behind several administrative and legal reforms, such as consolidation of imperial boundaries, the classification of Roman laws, and professionalized civil service. Hadrian's reign is generally regarded as a period of relative peace and prosperity, with a lasting legacy for the Roman Empire. Now, we have talked before about how it was in that time, that emperors were typically succeeded by a son, and if they didn't have a son, then they would adopt one. Hadrian had said of his wife that her ill temper and irritability would be reason enough for a divorce if he were a private citizen, but he felt that he couldn't do that in his position, so her irritability and ill temper may point to the possibility as to why they didn't have any children. After his wife passed in the year 136, he set about to adopt a successor, someone that he felt was suitable to serve as emperor. His first choice, Lucius Commodus, seems to have had some health issues and died in January of 138. And so it is that Emperor Hadrian adopted Titus Aurelius Fulvus Boionius Arius Antonius as his new heir on February 25th, 138. Antonius persuaded the Roman Senate to deify Hadrian, earning Antonius the title of Pius, so we know him as Antonius Pius. Hadrian chose well. Antonius Pius became emperor upon Hadrian's death later that year, in July of 138, and continued ruling in the same manner as Hadrian, such that Pius is considered the fourth of 5 good emperors from the Nerva-Antonine dynasty. This is the birthday of English singer-songwriter, guitarist, and film producer George Harrison, born February 25th, 1943 in Liverpool, England. He was the lead guitarist, and he was the youngest of the Fab Four, often referred to as the Quiet Beatle. The Lennon-McCartney writing team wrote most of the songs for the group, but George wrote some too, including Taxman, Within You, Without You, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Something, and Here Comes the Sun. His exploration of Indian music led him to incorporate the sitar into Beatles songs, starting with Norwegian Wood, This Bird Has Flown. After the Beatles disbanded in 1970, Harrison released the acclaimed triple album All Things Must Pass, featuring the hit single My Sweet Lord. He also organized the 1971 concert for Bangladesh, a pioneering benefit concert. In 1988, he co-founded the supergroup, the Traveling Wilburys, with Bob Dylan, Roy Orbison, Tom Petty, and Jeff Lynne. Beyond music, Harrison was a film producer, co-founding Handmade Films in 1978, which produced such notable films as Monty Python's Life of Brian. He was also known for his philanthropy and deep interest in Hinduism and Indian culture. Harrison passed away in November of 2001 at the age of 58. His legacy as a musician and humanitarian continues to influence artists worldwide. George Harrison. And as I was looking up George Harrison, I knew I'd be talking about a song he had something to do with. And what popped into my head, has been playing ever since, is the song End of the Line by the Traveling Wilburys. That song was written by all 5 members of the Traveling Wilburys, Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Jeff Lynne, Roy Orbison, and Tom Petty, and released in January of 1989. They had recorded this song in studio and planned to do the video afterward. Unfortunately, Roy Orbison passed away between the time the song was recorded and the time that they would film the video, so they showed his guitar in the rocking chair and a photo of Roy Orbison whenever his voice is heard in the song. Real goosebumper, that one. End of the Line did well in the charts and has been used in quite a few movies and television shows. By the way, that is session musician Jim Keltner on drums, credited as Buster Sidebury on the album. Great song, End of the Line by the Traveling Wilburys. Link in the description. How about that? A little sad to think that 3 of the 5 members of the Traveling Wilburys have gone on. They sure made some great music, though. And I have a quote for you from George, and here it is. All the world is birthday cake, so take a piece, but not too much. Alrighty, take care, be good to each other, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That playlist lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page. It's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.